Hello, TheDarkStream.
Yeah, and we're off with today's exciting adventure of Aggro Workshops versus Blue-White Tinker Initiative.
Yeah, I was playing Aggro Workshops. I'm Darth Cam Gentes. Hello.
And I'm Darth Zero. I was playing the Blue-White Tinker Initiative.
And I'm Darth Rictus in the upper left-hand corner with my features nicely frozen in that beautiful link showing.
You're frozen.
Yeah, yes. I'm hiding off camera.
That's the way to do things. That's the important. All right, so this is the start out to the Blue-White Initiative deck. We've got the lands out there, the Urza Sagas being the important ones. Those big texty things are basic lands so that no one's confused. I just like all text lands. I think they're the coolest. I think all text magic cards would be. But pretty simple. You've got 6 fetch lands, and you've got 1 extra Hallowed Fountain to make sure that you have your 5th kind of Tundra in there, as I think that that's worthwhile in this type of deck.
On we go.
Yep, onward to the next little batch of things. I don't remember what it was. Is it
cards?
You can just drag it forward.
Oh yeah, I forgot I can fast forward, can't I? Yeah.
And what do we got here?
All right. Yep. What we got? Did I do it right? What we got here is the initiative cards, the main 8 that everyone loves. A couple of is it Lavinia or Lavinius? I always forget the name. Lavinia, to make sure that people are punished for trying to do things for free. I'm still not sure on the Steel Wind, as that card is a bit back and forth in a lot of matchups as to ever.
The Tinker Target, or a Tinker Target.
Yep. You got the Time Walk combo, of course, or Time Vault combo, and 1 Needle because, you got to stop people doing things. This does not run, by the way, the Bolas Citadel with Sensei's Divining Top combo. I wasn't sure to put that in or what I'd have to cut because there's a lot of... This deck doesn't have much space, unfortunately.
Well, that makes sense. You kind of end up having multiple deck ideas jammed into one, and you lose all the flex slots.
Yeah.
Onward.
All right. So as we move on to the next bit, it's everybody's exact favorite cards.
The Ring.
It's
the Ring of Power.
There you go. If you don't consider Mana Vault or Mana Crypt one of the Power 9, you're silly. Just replace Time Twister with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Time Twister should be fired from the Power 9.
Yep. Enough said. Finished. Moving on.
Looks like spells.
Oh, looks like there might be more spells.
You're laying them out just so.
There we go.
You just got to be careful.
Got to make sure there's enough.
1 sec. There's still one more spell.
Oh, I still got another spell?
Yeah.
Oh, man. I'm terrible there. I got it in.
There it is.
Yeah, see, I'm so good. I got all those on there. So the exciting parts of this is the 1 Echoing Truth right there at the top because it gives this deck an actual out to essentially anything but lands, which I think is something that's missing from a lot of decks game 1 that people don't realize you often want in game 1. Besides that, normal suit, Flusterstorms, Force of Wills, Force Negation. Yeah.
3 Flusterstorm, definitely indicative of an online meta.
Yeah, a bit more on there. There was 4 when I got this. I cut the 4th to put in that Merchant Scroll.
Wise move.
I just was like, why?
Yeah.
That's just got to be an error. Like, Merchant Scroll gets Tinker.
Yeah.
It does not. It gets instance. It gets Ancestral.
And Dig Through Time.
And Dig Through Time. Which is still worth doing in this deck.
You know what? I get Ancestral. I'm fine with that.
Yeah. It turns into 3
pretty
blue
much what it is.
Right? Like 3 blue mana for 3 cards. Still pretty good deal.
Or when I need to, a counter spell.
Right. That makes sense.
Blue cards go broken.
That's blue be blue.
Blue cards go brrr.
Now we get into the excitement of the sideboard.
Oh, yeah, there we are.
And the sideboard's pretty simple. We get to even see the cards are placed in there. So the Phyrexian Portal is amazing in a lot of weird matchups because it just answers and you side it in because you can tinker for it. The rest of I wasn't sure on the Archons if they're even still good in this type of deck. But 1 spell a turn might be enough to slow, but it seems like it's stretching a bit too far then.
It's a very weird choice as a 4-of in a sideboard. Very weird choice.
Yes, Doomsday. There you go.
It'd be just fine right there, yeah.
And what would be another deck that probably do that? What was another combo deck? The Paradox deck?
Paradoxical Outcome?
The Kitten decks. That Archon would be good there.
Coveted Jewel, yeah.
There's a lot of decks that are trying to cast like 5 million cards a turn.
Underworld Breach decks.
Yeah,
I have a feeling those decks are going to get better after they have access to the 1 ring.
Oh yeah, man, that's exciting. We'll get to that though. That's some other material.
Oh yes.
On to the matches.
Okay, let's get.
Or actually, we're on to the next deck, aren't we?
Yeah,
right.
We got to move on to
Workshops.
the next deck.
Once we sorted it all.
Okay, yeah, something like that. Yeah, well, yep, land.
Hey, whoa, hey.
All right, there we go.
Yeah.
So the next deck here is the Aggro Shops. Got some of that exciting cards you see in every list, except for the
Except
wastes.
for the wastes, which was relevant here.
I think there's so much initiative going on right now that running wastes is the way to go.
It's also solid for the Assassin's trophies
And the Beseiju.
and the Besejus.
Yeah, I mean, you got a lot of advantage you can get out
Basic
of that
lands
card.
are really powerful in Vintage.
And every once in a while, they play a wasteland on turn 1 knowing you're on workshops, and you play a wastes, and they just get salty.
Yup.
All right, on to our next little bit here. We've got, oh, look, it's everyone's favorite bunch of cards. Everyone
That
knows what these do.
Yeah, power 9. And
A lot of cool artifacts.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, here's creatures doing their thing. Nettlesys thrown in there as a creature,
So
too.
the different thing about this list, and this is your list as well.
Yes, this is also.
the 2 worm coil engines in the main and the metamorphs.
Yep, I kept finding worm coils are good in so many matchups. Just they ended up coming main.
yeah, if you aren't playing against like hardcore combo, Wormcoil just wrecks everybody on value.
Yeah, if it's not Doomsday.
I guess Jeskai has a lot of swords to plowshares, but they still need to have those for
Yeah.
all of the threats. And there's so many threats.
Every one of my threats kills them. They only have so many swords.
Right, and it still doesn't hit the stupid nettle cysts.
Yeah.
So everything's lethal after a certain point. That makes sense.
Yep, other than that, pretty stock. Metamorphs down to 3, but don't worry. The 4th one appears on the sideboard.
That was my primary fear.
Oh, yeah, wait.
There we go.
Got to get in my Shadow Spear proxy because I still don't have one.
Yep.
Lock them out, fuck them up.
Yeah,
Welcome
the Tangle
to
Wires
Workshops.
being the big change up because I wanted. Well, I can't run 4 Trinispheres, so now I'm running as close as I can get to it because Tangle Wires really do a good job of when I'm on the play or when I'm on the draw, feeling
Yeah.
like I'm back on the play. It makes up for the opponent being on the play.
Yeah, if opponent just barfs down a bunch of cards turn 1 and you tangle them up, it feels good.
Breaking serve is always a good thing in Vintage.
It's
It is,
almost impossible in this format too.
right?
Yep, they just do the job. All right. Next up on this exciting. Oh yeah,
Sideboard?
yep.
City in a bottle.
Yep, that's the exciting one. City in a Bottle instead of the 4th Graph Digger's Cage because,
Bizarre.
yeah, I just wanted something that was more focused on Bazaar. And having 3 Graph and then 2 Python Needle with 1 already main is a lot of
Isn't City in a Bottle, that's like the hot new tech, right?
Yeah, straight out of a Japanese meta.
just, yeah,
Magnificent.
there we go.
Sometimes you just want to blow up every Bazaar of Baghdad
That is
forever.
actually my favorite piece of tech ever.
Yeah.
Now, incidentally, that 4th Phyrexia Metamorph on the sideboard is in danger of being cut for the first Mirren Safe House.
Ooh.
Interesting. What about a 4th Tangle Wire for boarding it in on the draw?
And that's what I was thinking about. I've still got a few flex slots in here. Like, I don't know if I need all 4 Worm Coils, but they felt good over and over again. The Torpor Orbs are really interesting. It's Initiative and Doomsday, so I like them. The Stone Brains are where I'm not sure if I just cut those because they're a really difficult card to play with, and I might just get lazy.
What about Crucible of Worlds?
Crucible's a must. You got to have your Crucibles. That's in the mirror match. Blowing stuff's up so important, or getting your stuff back, as well as there's so many weird grindy things you just get ahead.
Especially when they null rod you.
I'm a big fan, especially because this was a no Karn version.
Correct.
Right?
I do not run Karn.
So the other versions that have Karn have like 1, and sometimes you tutor for it. So I like having 2, so you can have a better chance of drawing it, but still very low odds of drawing both.
Yep. That's the pretty much there.
And that's the cards, right?
Yeah,
Then
we're
we get
on
into the
we're on to
games.
some playing some Magic. So let's
Right.
you got some shuffling here. Yeah, da 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 da.
I was on the play.
Oh wait, here we go. All right.
Everybody kept, nobody
Yeah,
mulliganed.
nobody
Yep,
mulliganed.
I'm on 7. This hand was obscene.
Oh man, I mean, I'm thinking
I had to think about
Yeah.
the sequencing again. That's why I picked things back up. Because obviously we start with that and then we vomit.
and I think let's see, we've got our Automaton gets to does it get to 5/5 turn 1 or just 4/4?
5/5.
I think it gets to 5/5 turn 1. There's a lot of cards that come down here.
Yeah, just absolutely ridiculous.
I think I was waiting for responses because you
Yeah.
seem to have a point
I
somewhere where you had a counter magic.
I had a Force of Negation in hand, and I was contemplating, okay, if I go for this now, but I was like, no.
Oh, right. That's right.
If there's a
You get the
sphere or a
cyst.
nettle cyst, and then it's boom.
I was very happy that you did that.
But
Because
that
I
was
had the mana floating and then
Oh, yeah. If I'd known you had Sphere, I would have
Right, yeah.
let Nettlesist resolve and gone that route. But I was like, oh, okay.
And there's your 5/5 turn
There's
one.
the 5/5 turn one.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, just,
with the sphere down. I don't know how you lose from this position, really. That's some time walks.
I would need to have Black Lotus and Serenity.
Yeah.
That would do it.
Yeah, Black Lotus Serenity. That's how you win from that position.
That would do it. But man, Black Lotus Serenity would still not absolute win because Workshop is even still on the table.
Okay, so I fucked up my sequencing. I should have played that pre-combat. I would have gotten more damage.
Yep.
Now, out of curiosity, the Urza Saga, you don't have a way to actually turn it on next turn, or do you still have a card in hand?
Oh, I had something, I think.
Okay. I wasn't sure if it was premature to play it out without a second mana source that could sink in to make more creatures.
I think it was also my only other land.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I would bet that this is perfectly happy going to 2 there, because if this just goes and grabs the Shadow Spear, it's just now gaining so many turns for this deck to try and get out. Yeah, here's my...
And that's the end.
Yeah. Okay. That's that.
Wait, we kept going for a little while.
Oh yeah, I gotta let you attack me. I want to look at the card that I drew. It was
so many damage.
What I draw. I think I wanted to see if I draw an actual action spell, because I did not. That's what my issue was. It was like I drew the Mox Ruby.
Oh yeah.
Like just okay, still can't use you. Great, thanks.
So yeah, in retrospect, Saga was my other land, and I just wanted to keep going.
Yeah.
Get T-shirts like that. Saga is my side land.
So getting into some of the sideboarding here, I was trying to figure out what all would go in. Initially, I was like, maybe I've got enough things to pull out for Archons just as chump blockers, but that plot quickly went out the window. Is slowing you down by a mana was tempting and might be right if I'm on the, but I am on the play. I think, why did I stop doing this? Yeah, I just couldn't think of anything better to side out. I'd have to pull the Force of Negations and like some Force of Wills and things like that, and I just don't think that's where I want to be in case of Sphere of Resistance.
So I knew that you had 2 Worm Coils in the main. That's why I set aside the Crucible of Worlds. I'm not sure if that's the right card to board in. I just knew that I wanted to get rid of Worm Coils in the face of Swords.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, Worm Coils are fine to pull in this match.
And getting more Urza Sagas after you blow them up, / being in a position to fuck up your lands felt pretty solid.
I mean, I would bring in the Torpor Orbs because you turn off the initiative deck's initiative.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I guess that's
all their
what
triggers
and
all their... Like, you might not need it in this one because it is Tinker, so it's lighter on some comes into play triggers.
That's true.
Like, there's no Lorens.
And there's no...
but, I mean...
What's the Solitude?
Right. Yeah, there's no Solitude, no Lorens, and there's just... I'm missing one other one. Anyway. There's not even Gitaxian in this deck. What? Man, how is Blue-White Initiative winning?
it's not running into shops, apparently.
Yeah, apparently it's just not running into shops.
Looks like you were debating what your sideboarding is?
This was my last. I needed my 5th one because I've got 3 Flusterstorms and a Python Needle versus the 2 there. And I believe the last card was Gitaxian Probe is what I'm about to pull out. And there it is right there.
Yeah, I agree with that.
All right, getting down to it. I'm going over my 7 to try and determine, all right, this has turn 2 seasoned with a counter spell backup and Force Negation. I think this is good enough. That's a good hand against a lot of the field.
I kept 7. It wasn't blazing hot, but they wound up not really mattering that much, but it had 2 wastelands in it and like a decent curve. Which is why I was a little frustrated when you opened Basic Island.
I was definitely on the woohoo, okay, safety net there.
Oh yeah, in case you didn't know what that weird lots of text card is, it's an island.
That's Basic Island, yeah.
They could see the little blue island
I'm sure
drop
they can
behind
read it, you know?
Yeah. Look, there's a blue island drop. You would know from that. That's all you need. No one needs more than that.
It's that teardrop that lets people know you killed a man and got away with it. Shops again on turn 1.
Yeah,
I think that was off the top or something.
Yeah, Blue-White Initiative, I think part of what makes Blue-White Initiative sexy is its land destruction, which this deck doesn't have. So I think Blue-White Initiative is just a...
So that was mana floating with that down, and I think I had nothing else to do. Yeah.
I have this thought that Blue-White Initiative is just one of those metagame choices where you're like, yeah, everyone's gotten skewed enough for this, so I'm going to play this. It's probably like dredging.
That first game, I had a nutty start, but this start is pretty reasonable.
Yeah, there's nothing super explosive about that turn 1. I agree, though. The meta online must have shifted in a weird way where you wanted to play a Tinker deck that was kind of like pick your poison. We're either Tinker or we're Initiative, but like you can't really do Artifact hate for just an Initiative deck that happens to have artifacts.
Well, I mean, I imagine that the online ones are a whole bunch of other Initiative decks because they're not too hard to build, and probably a lot of people playing Tinker.
I can see that, yeah.
Look,
Best parts of both decks
and
kind
this
of
is
thing.
This is when we were hunting for the,
yes.
the
Let me
dungeons.
just.
There they are.
Yeah, just
We found the Undercity.
I kept finding the wrong ones, like the other dungeons.
That makes sense, yeah.
It's a bad party when you show up to the wrong dungeon.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
That's why we have a seasoned Dungeoneer.
hey,
Yes.
everybody.
That Dungeoneer's been around the block. The block of dungeons. The cell block, baby.
You know it's a special one. That's why it has the white bordering.
Oh, it is that one. Oh, Lord.
Getting around the cell block.
It's okay. I've got a play set of those.
And can't be touched as it goes through the cell block.
Yeah.
Seasoned indeed.
Oh, I've got my little fine tip markers. I'm gonna be drawing all over that. I can't wait to deck out my moxes and stuff. That's gonna be fun.
All right, the Nettlesys decision.
Oh yeah, this
Yep.
is like no. The right move is to equip the Nettlesys because of the clock.
Yeah.
Just because of the Urza Saga out there.
Yeah, I think conversely, if for some reason I weren't going to equip, it would have been the wrong play to drop the crypt, the mana crypt.
Yeah, I would
But yeah,
agree.
this was a lot of fucking damage.
Yep. This actually I think would be enough of what
10
locked the game up.
points. Yeah, this was 10 points.
Yep.
Yeah. Confirmed.
Yep. All right, so next up is me handing off my
Oh yeah, that's right. And I got to go get the
Yeah,
basic,
the freaking-
basic fucking waste.
and gain out of it. There you go. There you go.
Already relevant.
Yep.
Sorry, other people play on my meta, but playing a wastes in your aggro shops deck is what you want to be doing.
Yeah. It wound up not mattering here because I had a land heavy hand, but it was pretty sweet to actually get value off of that.
I mean, imagine if you hadn't had the crypt here.
Yeah,
that
and-
waste just turned the
Shop's the deck that's really good at stealing back the initiative and having the initiative already like going and being able to count on attack, and I know I'll get a land drop.
Yeah. All right. That's when you cast spells and you're like, and construct tokens, you have no outs. It's another thing of this Tinker deck, just the fact that there's no Serenities.
And no Wasteland.
Now, this was a mistake on my part. I should have tapped the Tundra and the Soul Ring, not the Plains. I just instinctively tapped the Plains because I...
Leave that second blue source open for force and negation kind of vibe.
Yeah, like, and it's just, that's the wrong move.
Because
That's
you don't have
entirely the
force.
wrong move because I know that they run wastes or wastelands and strip mine, and
Yeah.
it's just the wrong move. And I thought about it too, and I'm like, it doesn't matter. There's no way on top of, oh man.
Yeah, spoilers for what's going to happen in a few seconds.
This was me realizing that I needed to attack with my Dungeoneer first to gain the initiative, and then
Oh, right. This was another sequencing thing. So this
Yep.
let you...
this let me take the initiative because I got it from you because I attacked and took control of it. Then when I cast my creature, whenever you take the initiative, you venture further into the dungeon. Because I don't think that I have ideal combat damage to you again. That I take the initiative, I think that it only triggers on my upkeep. So I gain an extra initiative trigger.
Ah.
That was the
and
trick
there's
I was going for.
The Drain 5.
I was doing math here. I was trying to consider if attacking with the Foundry would be worthwhile to have it chump into my seasoned veteran. But then I was like, wait, you could just move the Nettlesys over and
Oh, yes.
I'm screwed.
Oh, yes.
This is a bad idea. So, yeah, here comes the spoiler that we were talking about before. Yeah. And this is going to be just a terribly difficult decision.
I think I get hit by the crypt.
Yes, the crypt does hit.
Which was key.
Yeah, for clarification, we do
Odds.
damage on the odds.
Yep.
The logic being if you roll a 3, you should take 3.
Yep.
But this was critical because this actually puts you within a swing of Dungeoneer winning you the game potentially.
Well, it puts me into this very difficult decision now, thanks to that stupid Tundra being untapped.
Whether or not to swords the Foundry Inspector.
Yes, because I can't do it in the attack to prevent damage now because the Nettlesys can be moved beforehand.
Right.
If you had tapped it correctly,
If I had tapped it correctly, then I'm in a much better position because then I can take out the...
Able to wait until combat to
I
swords.
gain another turn without my creatures dying. So that gives me the chance to possibly win this game.
Would you have been able to potentially win if you simply don't swords anything? You chump the patchwork. The Foundry can't attack because Seasoned Dungeoneer's untapped. You swing back, explore, hit for 6, and then on upkeep, Mana Crypt domes for 3.
I'm okay. Let's see. So you want me to
not swords anything?
Not swords anything, and so I'm relying on using my Explorer to flip the Explorer to give it the +1/+1 for 6, and then relying on the Mana Crypt to give me an odds.
Yes.
Yes, I could have gone for that.
I kind of like that line considering how desperate the situation quickly became.
Here's the other part of that. You're potentially going to get 2 triggers on the dungeon, which would be the
Why would
finale?
I get 2 triggers?
Hitting for a combat doesn't do it?
No, it does not. It's only if you don't have it because you're taking the initiative.
I remember I'm going to make a really big construct on his turn if that happens. I think we saw the top card of his library.
And the way it goes is if I do it my way with the gaining 3 there, it comes out the same. The Mana Crypt still has to hit because the same amount of damage is done because I still get the extra turn. It'll just be done 1 turn later instead of the same.
I mean, if you don't swords there, you swing with Dungeoneer and Mana Crypt, that's game. Because Camden Taste would be at 9. You just have to hit on the Explorer and hit on the Crypt, but you have a shot. And that's the only way you have a shot.
Or I have the planes untapped and I prevent their attack entirely, so I take 0 damage and buy another turn. It's the same thing.
Except in that scenario, you're giving them 10 life?
Yes. But I get an answer. I can draw Hercule's Recall. I can draw... Oh, yeah, this deck doesn't have Serenity. Never mind.
Yeah.
Right.
The sledgehammers just aren't there.
There's no...
Force the will and some fucking lands. Nope.
Yeah, given what's in hand, I think I just go for we have to hit it off the top just right.
I think you're right. I keep thinking that this is...
Regular
this
wet initiative.
Answers, and it's like, no, this doesn't have answers. This doesn't have things it can do.
No, this is an abysmal matchup for the initiative deck. That's what we suspected. That's what we saw. So if this were a round 1, that would be a 0-1 for initiative, and we'll see what round 2 brings in the future.
Yep, we're going to run it through the whole gauntlet.
All righty, that's all from the Dark Stream for now.
Peace.